Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex podcast. I am your host, Sonny Kruger, and I am 23 again. As you can see, no more beard, no big Wolverine haircut like last week. I'm back to being young me again, and I'm joined by my co-host, Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to be here. Glad to see you. I hope you're ready for an awesome show because we've got a lot in store for you today.
Oh, yes, we are. And you might be noticing that a co-host of ours is not here today. Jamie is sleeping. Or maybe he's up to something else. We don't know what happened.
You know, we've never seen Jamie and Batman in the same place at the same time. So I am led to believe that he is probably being saved by Batman at this point in time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he's probably being saved. Jamie's always kidding himself. He is the true damsel in distress.
Some kind of predicament. Oh,
you know, always hanging off of getting caught at the end of trees.
Fingernails holding onto building ledges.
That is typical, Jamie. So typical.
Jeez.
Truck's about to fall on him. He's just standing there looking, and then somebody has to push him out of the way.
Stay out of the road, young man. I will, Mr. Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is... Well, Jamie, you stay safe, man, and hopefully you're having sweet dreams while we have a sweet episode for everybody today.
Yes.
And on this episode, we will be reviewing Thunderbolts Desperate Measures, the Thunderbolts one-shot. We have some comic book news, but then after that, we will actually be having a mail call on the show. We haven't had one in a while. Me and Tim will be showing some comic books that we've got. We will have the F list return, and today get your clocks ready because the clock is joining the F list. And as usual, me and Tim, we're going to go head to head in Do You Know?
That's right.
So, Tim, as we start off, before I give the rundown, would you like to give the rundown on all the Codex stuff, on our sponsor, Patreon, all that?
Yeah,
all those
absolutely.
Goodies.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, don't forget we are on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station, and that is where you will find us, your favorite social media platforms, or where you're watching us on live streams right now. Make sure to hit the like, share, follow, subscribe, so that way you know when new awesome content like this comes out all the time, every time. We also have a Patreon. All you got to do is type that in right there, or you can check out this awesome QR code that just popped up right there. Super awesome content for you guys. It is fresh. It is brand new. Help us out if you want to. All that goes to making sure super awesomeness comes to you, like I said, all the time, every time, and it's about the price of a cup of coffee. Cannot go wrong. Once again, we also have a website. Awesome stuff there. All you got to do is head to, you guessed it, thecodexstation.com for merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, type in thecodexstation.com. And let's not forget our sponsor for this week's episode, Dubby Energy. We all love it here. We hope you would love it too. Give it a try. And if you do, use the keyword code -X at checkout to save 10%. Definitely go do that. Once again, Dubby Energy. The website is dubby.gg, and that is scrolling right on down there. I think it's right there. There we go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and when you use that code -X, you also help the Codex Station.
That's true.
That does help us out. So we are trying to grow. Always put on, always trying to grow and put on some better shows for everybody with some higher quality. So check it out.
Yeah.
But last week, before we move on to this week, last week, as you said, I was not completely clean shaven. I had the Wolverine sideburns. The hair was all wild.
Nobody knew who you were.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, check out the name of last week's episode. I don't think anybody knew who I was.
No.
Who is that guy? It's me. I'm telling you, it's Sonny, the host. Yeah, and we had Ice Cream join the F list, and we reviewed Secret War.
Yeah.
So make sure to always check out other episodes of the Codex podcast, and always check out everything we have on the Codex Station, on our pages, and YouTube. There's always new content every single day.
That is correct.
But now I'll get us started with the rundown.
All right.
I'll start us off with some good comic news, and that is that Nick Fury is having a one-shot coming out to celebrate Nick Fury's 60th anniversary. Writer Al Ewing is coming out with a one shot, and the artists will be Scott Eaton, Tom Riley, Adam Kubert, and Ramon Rosanas. And it is a one shot about Nick Fury that will feature all kinds of Nick Furies. The original Nick Fury, who debuted 60 years ago, the Nick Fury Jr., Nick Fury, the one we see in the MCU. So it's a story with all the different Nick Furies, and there is set to be a new villain. They're saying a new villain, but it is someone using the code name Scorpio, but Scorpio is said in the name of like how Shield is with
got it. Okay.
So it's not confirmed if this technically will be a completely new character, or we never know. It could be somebody else using a new code name, but yeah. So the villain is set to be Scorpio, and this Nick Fury one shot is set to be released today.
Ooh, fantastic!
24th. Yep. So, and whenever you're checking this out, if you want to check that out, you can find it, at your local comic shop, or even they said online. It should be available.
Just remember, folks, with New Comic Book Day today, especially Marvel's shipments were delayed. I do believe there was a truck accident on an interstate somewhere in the country, and a lot of comic shops got affected. My local comic shop got affected. So if they don't have it today, keep an eye out for it in the coming days and or week, and it should be available post-haste.
Okay, so maybe when the edited version of this comes out.
Sure.
So there's some more comic book news. I didn't realize that.
I learned that today.
So there's more comic book news that goes on. But also we did get some sad news, and that was that a few days ago on May 21st, the actor Ray Stevenson passed away. And Ray was most known for playing Frank Castle the Punisher in the 2008 movie The Punisher Warzone. He was also in 2004's King Arthur. He was also known for being Volstagg in the Thor series. And I always knew him as Isaac Serco in the series Dexter. Now Ray was 58 years old. He was set to play Balin Skrull in the Osaka show, or Asaka. I'm not too sure how the character's name is pronounced. The Star Wars character Asaka. He was set to be in there, but obviously he has passed away. And he was hospitalized when he was working on a film called Casino in Ischia. So he was hospitalized, and then Ray did pass away at the age of 58. And then today, we lost a music icon in Tina Turner, who passed away at the age of 83 years old. And
what's love got to do with it?
Tina, you were simply the best.
Better than all the rest.
Exactly. And if anybody's wondering, like, hey, Tina Turner's not with the comic books, she actually is. 2 years ago, there was a comic book based on Tina Turner's life that came out. It was called Female Force, Tina Turner.
Nice. And she was also in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the greatest cinematic movie ever made with her in it. So there you go.
Who could forget that? Yeah.
Right?
So there we go. May Ray and Tina rest in peace.
Absolutely.
And, like I said, that was pretty much the comic news of this week. Anything really stand out to you, Tim? Like I said, I know you were kind of already going over it, but
Ray Stevenson, that was a shock when I saw that, and to see that he passed away so suddenly too. I loved him as Frank Castle / the Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
Thomas really had the look. I think he had the most look.
Thomas Jane's Punisher movie was amazing, but Ray Stevenson really had the look of the Punisher, and
he did.
I thought it was fantastic. The movie, whether you love it or hate it, that's on the aside, but yeah, he was wonderful in everything he did. I think he was a working man's actor. He was never an A-lister in a lot of things, but the movies that he was in, you definitely knew that he was there. So yeah, rest in peace, man. Also Tina Turner, like that. I saw that about a half hour before I got on here, and that was crazy. She was 83. Jeez.
And in good shape though. Like, I mean, like, 83 is, she was up there in age, but like always think of her as like, in great shape, and she was still able to move around all the way until the end. Now, Ray, it's still kind of they're not too sure of how Ray Stevenson passed, but it was Tina Turner. They were saying that she had an illness, that she did pass away peacefully at home, I believe, and that, but they obviously don't know what it was.
Tina Turner had the best legs in the business.
She, like I said, simply the best.
So, better than all the rest. Better than everything.
Yeah. Tim, I don't want to fight no more. I don't care if it's wrong or right. I don't want to fight no more.
What's love got to do with this, honey?
Exactly.
But a secondhand emotion. Come on now.
Man. We're sure gonna miss Tina, you know.
That's right.
Well, Tim, it's only love. And then I see in the comments saying that it was pancreatic cancer. Okay. Because I was just
Tina
hearing
Turner?
illness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Right there. There you go. So that sucks.
Yeah, that really does. Yeah, like, you know, we read online, it's so peaceful, but yeah. Well, she's out of pain now, so that is the one thing that could put us at peace, is that she's no longer in pain, and and her legacy will live on forever. I mean, when you sometimes look at some of Tina Turner's music, it's, we think about, these are, some of these songs are already 40 years old, 50 years old, and still really relevant to this day, and will always be.
Well, she controls Bartertown now, so
yeah.
Nobody else will get that reference but me and anybody that's watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So
it's been a long time since I've seen that one, Tim.
Busted deals.
It's been a while. I was very young.
Anyways, moving on. I could do this all night.
But yeah, so there's the comic book news. Like I said, we rest in peace, Ray Stevenson and Tina Turner. And then, like I said, everybody feel free to check out that Nick Fury one shot. And like Tim said, if your comic shop doesn't have it, it's because of that car accident, but it should be available at least within a week.
Oh, yeah.
And now we move on to some comic books that me and Tim got, because today it's mail call.
Oh.
And that's right. Tim, would you like to start us off with mail call today?
Yeah, I will. I'll go ahead and do that. So
it was your birthday. It's your birthday episode. So you get to celebrate first.
Right on. Awesome. So yeah, I got some stuff from some friends. I got stuff from my mom's friend Keith. He's my friend too. Keith, if you're watching, thank you very much, sir. I love the books. And let me give you a little showcase here. So, excuse me. We got this issue of Detective Comics, Batman Detective number 659.
For a second, it looked like he was fighting Strong Guy, but I'm like, wait, no, Strong Guy's...
No. I think that is not Bane. I don't know who that is, but yeah, it's awesome regardless.
Cool cover.
So I got that. Let me get something fixed here real quick, so that way we can see these issues a heck of a lot better. There we go. Also, he gave me Wonder Woman number 16. This is George Perez. I definitely do not have this, but I love Perez's work. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So there is that. Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. And also, Superman number 301. This is a 30 center. Can't go wrong with that. And he is duking it out with Solomon Grundy.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Love it. Then I went to a place not too far away called Mike's Comics and Collectibles. It's in Claxton, Tennessee. If you guys are there, go check it out. Tell him Codex sent you. He'll give you a nice big hello. But The Spectre by John Ostrander and Tim Mandrake. Uncle Gary, he was on episode After Dark with us. You'll be seeing more of him in the future, guys. But him and I have talked The Spectre before, and the John Ostrander run is absolutely amazing. And this is issue number 1, and it is a glow-in-the-dark cover, too.
That's an awesome cover. Like, now I want to see it in the dark.
Oh, well, I'll take a picture of it. I'll just hold it up to the ring light I got here and just let it feast. But, Sonny, throughout the course of me being on Codex, I have been working on my Uncanny X-Men run.
You have been on the hunt for it.
I finally got the 2 issues I needed to finish off an unbroken run from 200 to 544, and I will show you those now. So, I have Uncanny X-Men number 212.
Awesome.
This is the first battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. So this is a minor key or major key, one of the two. Either way, it's key and it's awesome. And it is now mine. But I got the big one, Uncanny X-Men 221. That is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister.
Send that to me right now.
Negative, sir. Negative. I finally got it. And I am super happy, super stoked to have it there but I got some other cool stuff too, and I want
I'm
to
really
share.
happy for you, Tim. I'm really happy
Well,
for you.
are you ready to be even more happy for me, Sonny?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so piece of comic book history here. I've shown this to Sal, showed it to Jamie, showed it to Wes. Wes fell in love with the book. I had to rip it out of his hands. Give that back, Wes. But this is Amazing Spider-Man number 122.
Wow, how did you get that?
I paid a fair price for it. The book is kind of not in good shape. I paid $40, but I think that was a fair price for this. It came in as a consignment at my local comic shop. As soon as I saw it, I was like, please put this in my pull box. I will buy it in a week. And by God, I did. So, yeah, feast your eyes, Sonny.
That is nice. Wow, Tim getting some classics.
But I also got two other big ones here that I want to show. I did a big trade not too long ago. The Mr. Sinister was part of that trade. I got a Futurama number 1 graded 9.8, and I traded that away to get a couple of books. Yeah. And the Mr. Sinister first appearance was part of that. And then I also got this. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 298.
And that was the first one with
This
Todd
is first,
McFarlane, right?
That's right. First cameo of Venom, first Todd McFarlane, and I believe first Eddie Brock too. So this is definitely going to get pressed and cleaned and graded, and you'll see this again in a future episode of Codex Slabbed with Sal the Slab Guy and Wes Rebel Scum. But this is the best one here, even better than those. This book looks beautiful, and I am so glad I have it. It is a second print, which I am absolutely okay with. This is Batman number 423.
There we go. The classic cover, man.
Finally have one in my collection. I have been wanting one of these for such a long time. And
now you got to do the thing where you have to draw on it to see like where his legs would be, where his arm would be.
Yeah, definitely. His legs would be like all the way up here. This is where his waist is, and then he's got little tiny arms right there, and then it all goes all the way down. Yeah,
yeah. So you got to do just get like the crayon, you know.
Oh, I'll do you one better. I got a Sharpie right here, so it can never come off.
Yeah, perfect. That's what you got to do.
Oh, done. It's done. 110%. Sonny, show me what you got, man. I want to see.
It was very interesting, Tim, that you had Uncanny X-Men 212 because, my birthday was almost a month ago, and my aunt wanted to get me. People give me some stuff, but my aunt, she always likes to give me a few comics, at least a little bit, and she knows I like X-Men, so she got me this, and it's considered Sabretooth Classic, and that is the classics, and it is of Uncanny X-Men 212.
That is wonderful. So we got the same issue, just different covers.
So I thought that was pretty cool when you showed it. I was like, wow.
That's great.
Also, the Savage Wolverine issue 17.
Ooh, I like that cover.
And I think it is cool. I think it almost looks like it's Batman back there.
Are his arms like all the way up to his elbows covered in blood?
They are. They are covered in blood. Yeah. I haven't checked that issue out yet, but it looks good. And then, of course, lately I've been getting some other comic books. The book we'll be reviewing today, Thunderbolts, Desperate Measures.
Nice.
And the other side of that, then another Thunderbolts one-shot, Breaking Point.
Ooh, interesting.
Put that to the side because I'm going to read it. But I had one quite a bit, and it was a lot of number ones, and it also included another Thunderbolts one-shot, Reason and Madness.
That's nice. So this is all the Thunderbolts stuff during Civil War, is that right? And the Initiative.
With the Initiative.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts one-shot right there. Justice Like Lightning. And then cool. Thunderbolts, another one-shot, International Incident.
Interesting. I got a feeling we're going to be checking a lot of these out on the podcast.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're doing one today, so we'll see if we do the others. But also, I have a one-shot coming up with Frank June, or actually an interview coming up with Frank June Kim, and I did complete the West Moon Chronicle, so that's issues 2 and 3.
Those covers are amazing.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Now
did finish
Frank is the
reading this
writer,
too.
correct?
Frank is the writer, yep.
That's right. Yeah. Well, he got an amazing artist, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, the art, and even inside too, is great. Sometimes you see cover art is really nice, and then inside like, looks way different. The
Yeah.
inside reminds me like the cover too. And then I
Nice.
had won a bid of some DC comics. This was like a
Ooh,
total of $10. This is counting shipping and handling.
okay.
And Back from the Dead, The Adventures of Superman, issue 500.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
And that one also came with a card.
Ah, from
There we go.
Bloodlines.
Yes, there we go. The other day when we were showing all our cards, and now get more cards. There we go. Some Superman. Yeah, that's the number 1 for the new.
Ooh,
52.
that's George Perez right there. Like it.
Nice. Superman Action Comics. And it's him against Shazam.
Nice. Very nice.
And now, Tim, was it 2 weeks ago, we reviewed The Brave and the Bold 197. And, you know, I loved it. And I got before I got a book that includes it, but I also now I have Brave and the Bold number 196.
Oh, that's cool.
The Batman and Ragman.
That's
And
great.
on the other side, issue number 1, Superman Action Comics, the new 52.
All that new 52 stuff, dude, you are going to be extremely satisfied with.
Nice. And here's a blank comic. No.
Oh,
there we go. Superman the Wedding album.
Very nice. Very nice.
There. And let's see. I also got some Detective Comics right there.
Ooh,
Detective
look at
Comics
that.
Millennium Week 4. What issue is that? 582.
That's great. I love that cover. That's early 80s stuff or mid 80s. Yeah, that's awesome. Can't go wrong.
And I also really like this cover of Superman Man of Steel.
Ooh, and that is a first print? Or is there a Roman numeral next to the issue number? No?
Let's see. No.
Perfect. That's a first print, dude. That's amazing.
Woo!
That's in the middle of the Doomsday fight, so you can't go wrong there.
Not bad for $10.
Yeah, that's really good.
And then this one too.
That's Superman, first appearance of a modern Supergirl. That book's hot right now. Hold on to that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't even know. I actually got lucky with that one. And then Robin 3. But it's a little, was it Cry the Huntress?
Spider cracks. Yeah.
There's some cracks up. I should get all my money back and return it all.
Well, with them two DC books, that Superman, Batman, and that Man of Steel, those are some big books, man. That's awesome.
Without a doubt. Yeah, $10. And then two, I did get to finish it off. You know, I like to get my trade paperbacks.
Oh yeah.
And I did get The Death of Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So there we go.
Nice. Can't go wrong.
One of my favorite Marvel, like the Marvel graphic novel series.
Mm-hmm.
I love The Death of Captain Marvel. And you know, I had to get some X-Men.
Oh yeah.
I have X-Men From the Ashes.
Nice. Love that cover.
Yeah. And that is, what issues is that? One Uncanny X-Men issues 1.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so it is like 168. Yeah. Uncanny X-Men issues 168 to 176.
Ooh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, so some great issues in there. I really wanted to add it to my collection, and I finally got it. So that is my mail call for this week.
Very, very nice, Sonny. Very nice. Yeah, that those two DC books, the Man of Steel 18 and that Superman Batman number 8, those are some big books there, sir. Good job.
Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for not being like, Sonny, just send that to me. And
those are 50 centers at best,
yeah.
dude. No, I got 2 copies of that Superman Batman number 8. So yeah, that's awesome. Hold on to that for a little while. That's great. Or forever even. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like you said, you know, it's one of those things where you say, maybe I'll sell it, and then never get around to it.
But the good thing is that whole story is good, and the Michael Turner artwork on the inside is gorgeous. So yeah, you cannot go wrong.
So every now and then you get lucky, and
that's true.
I did.
Yeah, there you go.
I am the lucky man.
That's perfect. Good job, sir.
But you know who's not so lucky?
Somebody that got a big fat F on their report card.
That is right. So now we move on to the F list, and today's F lister is the clock.
Ooh. Do you want me to show them a picture?
Would you show them some pictures of this loser? There
Look
you
at
go.
that guy.
There you go with the
Tick-tock.
look at that yellow shirt, purple cape, clock
Oh
on
my
his
God.
chest.
What about this one here?
There we go. I'll read that one. Look at that. It says, above the crashing din, a mocking voice is heard. A timer that released acid destroyed your statue, but I have a more fitting death arranged for your timely demise at 3.
Ooh, and the clock on his chest doesn't even say 1 o'clock yet.
Yeah, it doesn't. He's
Oh,
giving
but
you till 3.
one more.
And oh, there he is. And the note says, this is for you. The time has come for the Batman.
Wow. Wonderful.
So there you go, Tim. Since Jamie's not here today, would you like to take a guess at the story behind the clock?
So I'm going to put a picture up, this one here, so you guys can look at that and think about it as I tell you. So William Tinkerton, that's his name, was a clockwork maker of plastic swatches and hand-me-down spectacle watch cases. And one day he got one that was filled with acid, which didn't burn him, by the way. He just got it and safely put it away. But that stewed in the back of his mind and led him to go on to a life of crime, timed by working hours, so only from 9 to 5 with a lunch break at 12:30 to 1. And that's why he's banging on the table right there, because it's lunchtime and he was in the middle of a heist and had to quit. But yeah, he's a Batman rogues villain and is disappointed at his untimely defeats by Batman time and time again. But that's why there's this picture right here, because this is for you. The time has come for the Batman. Time for a unionized lunch break. But beyond that, he has a hard time telling time because on his uniform there, the clock is always wrong.
Perfect.
There we go.
And that's why he's an F-lister.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, Tim, are you ready to learn about the clock?
Yes, very much so.
So the clock's real name is Slugsy Kyle.
I was close.
Yeah. Yep, he obviously is from Gotham City. He is bad. He's an American. He is a criminal. And he is from Earth 2. He was created by Bill Finger and Sheldon Moldoff. His first appearance was in Detective Comics 265 in 1959. The clock was known for saying, I was Batman's first case, and I'll be his last too. Yes, one interesting thing is that Slugsy Kyle, the clock, was Batman's first villain that he caught. In the story, Batman goes back and going back in time. Batman's telling of how he first started out, and he had Slugsy Kyle arrested. And while Kyle was in prison, since he did time, he had time to become a villain, and that's when he created the persona of the clock.
What a timely capture.
Yeah. So once he got out, he had aged. He was obsessed with time because Batman made him do hard time. Ooh. So he came out, and then he learned about clocks. He wanted his revenge. So what did he do? Like in that one picture where he's saying at 3 o'clock, he blew up a So there we go. Did we see it? Yeah, and he blew up the statue of Batman. And then he said at 3, he was going to come to kill Batman. But Batman and Robin, no surprise, they eventually defeated him. And Batman used a giant clock to do it. So Robin was noted for saying that the clock was caught by a clock. Kyle was returned to prison, and he was put in a cell where he would face a clock.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Time. Yeah, and that is the story of the clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Tim, that's the clock. Any guess on, do you think he can make it out of the F list?
I don't think he has the time to make it out, to be honest with you. It's time's running out for him. There's not much time left, and time is short. And he has all the time in the world while he's in prison. So, no.
Tim, I think the clock, with enough time on the clock could get out of the F list. I think Obviously, he's going to need a change of outfit. He's going to need a bit of a retcon. But I think with him being like the first character that Batman, took on, somebody could build on that story and make something different. But yeah, they can do something with the clocks. Obviously, he needs a change, but his story isn't super cheesy. Like I said, he was a villain Batman caught. He was put in prison. He's out. He wants to do, blow up statues and stuff. But I think if he joins a team or something, I think the clock could make it out of the F list.
Well,
he needs a change of outfit.
He does have a lot of time on his hands to think about it. So
yeah,
you may be right.
Yeah. And I think, he may just have to ditch the whole clock thing, stick to the Slugsy Kyle. Maybe he'll actually get a last name because even Slugsy is put in parentheses. So
it's just right on.
Slugsy Kyle. Maybe Slugsy will get himself a last name after, almost was he before maybe on his 70th birthday, maybe on the 70th anniversary, Slugsy Kyle the clock will actually get himself a last name
after all this time.
Yeah, all this time. It took me 70 years to get a last name. Now maybe I can have one comic book where I'm like a decent villain.
No.
No way. But we'll see, Tim. We'll see in due time.
Only time will tell.
Yes, only time will tell. Will Tim be right? Will the clock stay on the F list, or will I be right? And will Slugsy Kyle the clock get out of the F list? And it's time we say goodbye to the F list for today. We'll see more F listers next week on episode 80 of the Codex podcast.
The big 80.
Oh, yeah. And now it's time for some Do You Know?
Do I know, Sonny? I hope you know, because I think I've got your number. And I know I say that a lot, and it's always wrong.
I love when you say it.
But I think it's true in this case. You may get one of them, but the other two, I think I've got you.
All right, Tim, let's see. So today would be me, then you, and then a certain sleeping giant, but it would just be me and then you.
Fair enough. All right, I am ready to own, Sonny. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, today we were talking about how Nick, last week we were reading Secret War, which focused on Nick Fury, and today we did mention that there's a Nick Fury one-shot coming out. So my question for you, Tim, do you know what job did Nick Fury and Samuel L. Jackson's grandpas have in common?
They were elevator operators.
Correct.
Oh,
that is right. Yep. And it was stated in Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Captain Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, and then in real life, Samuel Jackson
clutched that bag a little tighter.
Yeah. So Nick Fury in the Winter Soldier did mention that his grandfather was an elevator operator, and in real life, Samuel L. Jackson's grandfather was an elevator operator.
Very nice.
So 1 point for the birthday boy.
Right on. Awesome. Okay, Sonny. Here we go. Here's your first chance to not get a point, but I think you're going to get this one.
Hopefully.
So this guy back here, Penance, he is on a team, Thunderbolts, which is the book that we're reviewing today. So, Sonny, do you know what is the first appearance of the Thunderbolts?
Of the Thunderbolts, the team?
Yep. First appearance.
The Incredible Hulk 449.
There you go. Good job, sir. Yes, the Incredible Hulk number 449 came out in January of 1997.
I was almost going to use that question. Like, when I was coming up with answers yesterday and looking, and I was like, maybe somebody else will use it. So
that'd be me.
Okay. Well, good. We're both on the board, Tim.
There we go. You got one easy one.
I see you got a birthday wish in the comments, just so you know if you want to check.
Thank you very much, Craig. Happy birthday to you too, good sir.
I don't know if it was Greg's birthday, though, Tim.
Well, if it isn't, then it will be someday. So put that in your pocket and save it for a rainy day.
One day this year.
Yeah, there you go. Or next year if it's already passed.
Again next year.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so Tim, now we move on from birthdays and both of us getting on the points. There you go. Now we see in the comments that it was April 7th.
Sal's Comic Corner says, happy birthday. You're still younger than me. That is very true, Sal. That is very true, but I have an unbroken run of Uncanny X-Men from 200 to 544. So there's that. I know you've got more than I do, but that's not the point.
Well, let's see who gets more points at the end of this game, because right now we're tied.
That would be me.
Question number 2. We're hoping it's me.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's your birthday, I still want to smash you. It's like a friend smash, though.
Understood.
Like the Hulk.
I haven't been smashed in a couple of years, so it'll be good to have that feeling.
Hulk smash, Sunny smash. All right.
Go ahead.
Tim, my question number 2 for you. All right. Do you know, since we were talking about Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson, do you know who was asked to play Nick Fury before Samuel L. Jackson got the part?
David.
Not the David.
Oh, not the Hoff.
So this is because we know he did play him. So we're talking about who was asked to play Nick Fury and then didn't get the part, and then
before Samuel L. Jackson. Denzel Washington.
Pretty good guess, but the answer is George Clooney.
Really?
Yes. Before
I am glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. So before the MCU started, George Clooney was in talks to play Nick Fury.
Wow.
But he turned down the role after he saw a Nick Fury Max comic where Nick Fury was using a man's intestines to strangle him. So George Clooney thought it would be bad for his image and turned down the part. And eventually Samuel L. Jackson got it, and that is what a great part he has done. I'm glad with the way things have went, because Samuel L. Jackson has done a terrific job playing Nick Fury.
It's a no-brainer because the Ultimate Universe Nick Fury was modeled specifically after Samuel L. Jackson. So who else to play Nick Fury but him? Right?
So
I mean, the Hoff is the Hoff, but Samuel L. Jackson.
We got 2. We get both. We can go back and watch the Hoff, and we can watch Samuel
right.
Jackson.
Oh my God!
I had to make sure before you said David Hasselhoff to say, wait, I'm not talking about that one.
Not the Hoff. Yeah. Zandu Hasselfrau. Okay. Question number 2, Sonny. So Thunder seems to be the theme that is going on here. The Thunderbolts. You already got that answer correct. But do you know that there is another character in Marvel with the name Thunder in his name, and that would be Thunderstrike? So the question is, Sonny, do you know what Thunderstrike's first appearance is? If you get this, I'm shutting the computer off.
I'm going to go with Thor 333.
Is that your final answer, or are you just saying that to not get the point?
Dang it. I should just say, yeah, it's because I just don't want to get the answer. I want to make it a tough match.
Okay.
I just want to make it an even match.
So what'd you say? 333?
Yeah, Thor.
That is incorrect. It is Thor, but it is issue number 391, came in May 1988. And for a no prize, do you know what his name is?
Oh, man. It was when you were first saying Thunderstrike, I'm like, what is Thunderstrike's name? Why am I forgetting it? Right now, it is not coming to my mind.
Eric Masterson.
There you go, Eric Masterson.
There you go. Right on. So no point for you.
Okay, I was like 60 something, almost 60 issues off.
You were, yeah. You were quite a ways away.
I had I knew it was Thor, and it was 300 something. Actually, didn't know. It was quite a guess.
Well, there you go. It's pretty close.
All right, I knew it was Thor. Okay.
Right.
So now we both still at 1 point each. Now we move on to round number 3. All right, Tim. It's clobbering time.
I gotcha.
And this question has nothing to do with the thing.
Oh, okay.
But we are going to Thunderbolts. Like we were saying, we're talking about Thunderbolts. So one of the characters is Songbird. My question has to deal with her. Tim, do you know, before Melissa Gold was Songbird, what was her original code name?
The White Swan? I have no idea.
Just scream it out. Just scream your answer.
Bird Song.
Before Melissa Gold was known as Songbird, she used the code name Screaming Mimi.
Wow, I'm glad she changed it.
Yep, so she was Screaming Mimi. She was Screaming Mimi back in Marvel 2-in-1, number 54, that came out in 1979. 9.
Wow. Okay. So Screaming Mimi to Songbird. Songbird's a better choice.
Yes.
Okay, Sonny.
All right.
My third question. We are tied right now, 1 for 1. Let's see if you can get the answer to this. So, keeping in theme with thunder, we're going to talk about the thunder from Down Under, and that would be AC/DC. So, in the MCU movie Iron Man, what AC/DC song is playing in the opening sequence? Do you know?
Let's see. Just kind of trying to see the movie again in my head.
And if anybody watching right now knows, don't put it in the comments until after Sunny answers. Don't give it away.
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck. That would be a good answer to give in keeping with the theme, but it is the wrong answer, Sonny. It is Back in Black.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if it was, but then like all this thunder. Let me go with that.
Yeah, no, Back in Black from their 1980 multi-platinum selling Super Diamond Back in Black album. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. You'll love it. So there you go. We are tied, Sonny.
Hey, at least we both got one. At least it's not one of the 0 ties, you know.
That is true. No big fat goose eggs, just a single pretzel stick.
Yeah, for me and you, there you go. 1 each. Put it over there, Tim. Other way.
You're somewhere right there. There we go. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Earlier we did your happy birthday high five in the pre-show, and today we touch our ones. Just celebrate, you know.
This is a family show, Sonny.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just one. Like ET, right. Tim. Like ET.
There you go. Phone home. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Okay. Why are we doing this?
Well, surprise, surprise. ET is joining the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, there we go.
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
But there's only one thing left to do on this episode, Tim, and that is to move on to our review.
All right.
So, everybody, in case you didn't know or you forgot, I am Sonny. I am with Tim, and today we are reviewing Thunderbolts Desperate Measures.
That's right.
And as usual, Tim has the credits.
Yeah, so Thunderbolts, Desperate Measures. This is a one-shot, came out during the Civil War and Initiative era of Marvel Comics, and it is written by Paul Jenkins with artwork that includes pencils and inks by Steve Lieber, colors by June Chung, and letters by RS and Comic Crafts Albert Deschamps. I think that's correct. It's probably not, but there we go.
Well, you tried.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. So I will give us a little run through of the story before giving my rating. So Thunderbolts Desperate Measures starts off with Penance, and he's talking with Norman Osborn. There we go. There's Penance back there. Robert Baldwin, and yeah, so Norman Osborn is talking with him, and he's talking about how Penance, who was formerly Speedball, for those of you who don't remember, yeah, so Penance was Speedball, but in the story he is Penance. Norman is talking with Penance about how he took out, or how he got them Gorilla Girl, but that Penance was too rough and really injured Gorilla Girl in the process. And so Norman's saying, you can't be doing that. You know, you're a liability. And then Penance is just really bored. Like, can I go? So can I go now? And Norman just can't stand. No one can't stand Penance. So what does he do? He's, while speaking with Miss Thompson, he's saying, so we can't kill him. We can't do this. What can we do?
He even asked, he's like, is it possible? I don't recommend it, sir.
Yeah. So then he's looking at villains that the Thunderbolts are that they're going to go after. And he's looking, he's like, nope. He wants one that's really dangerous. So who does he land on? He finds AmeriCop. And that's who he wants. And we see AmeriCop, and he is dealing with a drug dealer. And he puts some wires together and electrocutes and pretty much fries the brain of this dealer and says, "Yeah, there's the message to your boss." Right? And then, while that's going on, Norman goes to Bullseye and is trying to get Bullseye to lead the Thunderbolts on this mission. But while they had I really liked their conversation. You know, Norman's like, "Is there anything I can do to make you feel more comfortable?" And Bullseye says, "You can die in a car crash." They have
He
a
was
really
going off.
oh yeah, he really went more into it, and I can cut this on you, and I can do this on that.
I'd really like that pencil. I could do a lot with that pencil.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. He mentioned the pencil, and I'm sure Bullseye would be able to do it if he got a hold of it. But Norman does get Bullseye to agree to lead the mission, and then we do have Bullseye and Penance going against AmeriCop, and it starts. They're in a little like a two-seater motorcycle, and even Bullseye jumps off. You know, and last second, Penance is like, "What is?" It's crashing into the truck that AmeriCop is in, and then it is a battle between Bullseye and Penance against AmeriCop. And AmeriCop is surprisingly pretty tough and pretty crafty. He has a lot of stuff going on, and Bullseye realizes he comes up with a plan that he can use Penance to defeat AmeriCop. He said, "Okay, I can't kill him, but I can bring him really close to death." And he comes up with quite a plan, and it is quite brutal. And all I'll say is, in the end, Norman Osborn is very happy with the results of everything that takes place in this one shot. And that is where I will stop my walkthrough of the story. But I really enjoyed this one shot of Thunderbolts Desperate Measures. I'm not too familiar. I haven't read too much of Thunderbolts. So when I got this issue, I was like, you know what? I'd be interested to read it, to check it out. It's a one shot, so it's quick. It's not long. It's not like I have to follow this whole long story. And I liked in the beginning, they do give you a page of letting you know a little bit about each character, especially Norman and Penance and Bullseye. So if you're not too familiar with the characters or the story, they give you one page that gets you caught up right away. I thought it was really interesting. I like the artwork. I like the story. I like the characters. I like the interactions between each other. Like I said, especially that part with Bullseye and Norman talking. I like the action. And I read this on a day I wasn't having too good of a day, but I was like, hey, I still have a comic to read and review. And this took me away from everything for a little while and really entertained
Nice.
me. I think it was a great story. And for me, in the end of the day, I really do recommend this. And this makes me want to read the other one shots of Thunderbolts. And it had me doing research on just the team of Thunderbolts themselves. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be checking out more Thunderbolts comics soon. And for me, with this Thunderbolts one shot, Thunderbolts Desperate Measures, I give it a 9.2 out of 10.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it.
I guess.
Yeah, so this one I really enjoyed it. And now, Tim, I am excited to see your opinions on this story.
So I did not enjoy it near as much as you did, Sonny, but I did have fun reading the issue. So, okay, let's talk about the artwork first. The artwork is super gritty. And for a story like this, I think it fits very well. Steve Lieber's artwork is pretty solid. Penance is drawn really awesome. There's consistency with all of the characters, Norman Osborn especially. But like with the grittiness, I think it gets a little too gritty, like with the squiggly lines, and it looks like there's just like quick drawings and things like that there. I'm not a big fan of that. Some people are. I'm not. I just don't really care for that all that much. But
Any specific part? Any
yeah,
specific
like in the
scene?
beginning where they were showing the pictures and all that stuff, and
Okay.
there was just those quick squiggly drawn lines and stuff like that. That just kind of pulls me out. I like very clean artwork, but I like gritty artwork too when it's required. And this book obviously required it. So there's that. But writing Paul Jenkins, it's a solid issue. It's not anything over the moon, but it doesn't have to be, right? Because this is basically like a day in the life of the Thunderbolts, Penance specifically, and even Bullseye to a point. But this is more of a Penance issue than it is anything else. AmeriCop, though, never heard of him before. I thought he was kind of cool. I would like to see and read more things. He's kind of like the Punisher, but not as loaded.
And more some cheesy lines. I did forget to mention. I like some of his cheesy lines. You have the right
Yeah.
to like remain something.
You
And
have the right to
come out with your
raise
arms
your
broken.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
come
my
out with your arms
god.
broken. I did like the cheesiness of his lines.
So yeah, so that was silly. But it was solid. I mean, if you're just jumping into this, at least in my perspective, Sonny, it did exactly the opposite of what I'm about to say for you. If you're jumping into this without knowing anything about anything, it may be a little confusing at first, but it didn't do that for you, Sonny. You seem to really enjoy it, and it opened the door for Thunderbolts to you, and that's perfect. For me, though, if I were to have jumped into this, I think it would have been a little more confusing for me. Like, who's this? Why is this? What's going on? What the heck is going on? But that aside, it's a day in the life of it's a Tuesday for the Thunderbolts, and I think it's great. Norman Osborn, Bullseye, and Penance, it's their issue, and they got a lot done in 28 pages. So there is that. So overall, I give the artwork a 6.5. That's not a bad grade. Right. I think this issue is well deserving of that. It doesn't need to be any more than that in the writing. I also give a 6.5 for an overall of 6.5. This is definitely a book to read. It's got the feel of the aftermath of Civil War and Initiative. It's not a detrimental read or a must read or anything like that to know what's going on. But if you want to see what's going on a regular day for a team or a character specifically, this is the issue for you.
Yeah. So, okay, like I said, so different. Yeah. Tim, you give it a 6.5. I give it a 9.2, like I said, because I really enjoyed it. But like you said, one thing that didn't make me give it the 10 was that, like you said, it almost isn't a must read.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's more of a fun comic. That's what I enjoyed, was like, okay, it's fun. You can read it. It's not you need to read it or you need to read others with it. So, like you said, it is a fun in the day of the life of Thunderbolts, mostly focusing on Norman, Penance, and Bullseye.
Yeah. But see, the good thing is, though, Sonny, is like what this book did do for me with you showing me all those other one-shots. It's got me excited to check those out because I like stuff like that. They're nice, good reads. They're quick reads. They're reads that don't leave you with existential dread like Amazing Spider-Man. Or anything like that, but they're great reads. After you read it, you're like, man, I want to read some more. I want to read more Thunderbolts. I want to read New Warriors. I want to read Penance. I want to read more Bullseye. This is a gateway book, and it's perfect for that.
Yeah, and the one thing too, what I liked is with it being a one shot was that, like I said, it's not like I immediately need to jump onto the next story. It's when I feel like it. Hey, I can jump onto one of the other one shots or two of the one shots.
Yeah,
and like I said, then it just piqued my curiosity. Let me go back and see and learn about some of the original Thunderbolts. And
I got 20 minutes. I'm gonna read a one shot real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really fun issue. So I do recommend Thunderbolts. So like I said, Thunderbolts, Desperate Measures, I give a 9.2 out of 10, and Tim gives a 6.5 out of 10.
Not
and
bad.
That will wrap up our review for Thunderbolts, Desperate Measures, and we'll be having more reviews constantly here on the Codex podcast and all over the Codex station.
Yeah.
And next week, we will be reading and reviewing. We will be reviewing my pick of a story arc, and that is the Silver Surfer, the Herald Ordeal.
Yes, issue 70 through 75. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I saw the first cover for that, and it looks wonderful. Ron Lim artwork. Oh, can't wait.
The Ron Mars and Ron Lim. And the story I've been excited to have us review, a while ago. I was saying it's not too easy to find online to read, and it's not even in any Epic collections. But when you get a hold of it, I do recommend it. So that's why I picked it. I'm excited to review it with you and Jamie next week.
Oh yeah.
And with that, we can put this episode to bed. I mean, some people are already sleeping.
Tuck it in.
Here. Yeah, so some people aren't here, but now if we feel like it, I'm gonna be up for a while. But if we feel like it, we can all go to bed because this episode is about to go to sleep. Yeah. And I say thank you everybody for tuning into another episode of the Codex podcast, and thank you for always tuning into anything the Codex station has to offer to you. And I will see you all on more episodes of the Codex podcast and some more things coming up from the Codex station. Take care, everybody, and I will let Tim wrap this up.
Sonny, you seem a little sleepy. Why don't you let me get you a warm glass of milk, and you can drink that and rest easy. Knowing
cookies with it too.
1 or 2, but no more than that. Want you to sleep good. But ladies and gentlemen, before you go to bed, we are on all the socials. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that is where you will find us. Your favorite social media platforms, and where you're watching us live streaming right now. Make sure to hit the like, share, follow, subscribe, so that way you know when new content is coming out all the time, every time. Also, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that nice little QR code that's been hanging out up there. Yeah, that's our Patreon. Go check that out. Right there's the link. All you got to do is type that in. Awesome content there for the price of a cup of coffee. Help us out if you want to. No pressure, no nothing, no arm twisting. You do it if you want. If not, you being here watching this is help enough. But if you feel obligated, go ahead and hit patreon.com/the codex station. Also, we have a website, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is type in, you guessed it, thecodexstation.com for all your codex needs. Go over there to get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com. And last but not least, the sponsor for this week's episode is Dubby Energy. All you got to do is type in code -X at checkout to save 10% on your order. The entire Codex team loves it. We know you will, and we're giving you 10% off your order with keyword code -X. That word right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Tim. This beautiful guy over here is Sonny Kruger, aged 23. This is the Codex Podcast right here on the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.
Good night, everyone. Sweet
Good
dreams.
Night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.